We're going to start with a collective reading first before we get into, before we, I'm trying to get better with timestamps. I'm not doing well. Um, if anybody's able to, whenever we change subjects, if you can just like type in the time, like, and whatever it is that we changed it to. So, like right now, we're getting ready to do collective reading for the spiritually enlightened, in other words, us, right? So we're 21 minutes and 53 seconds in, or 22 minutes in. So it would be like 22 minutes collective reading. Okay. If anybody's able to, I would appreciate it because I'm sucking at it. Anyway, 22 minutes collective. That way I can put actual timestamps and also know where to cut these videos at. All right. Thank you. Oh, you're East. Okay, perfect. Okay, so as I said, we're about to get into the collective reading. I'm hearing to use the light seers. So we're going to go ahead and go to the light seers. That's just because that's what we are. So we are the light seers. So we're going to do that. And then I will drop you down. Hold on, my floor is a mess. So let me take care of that. All right. Because I knocked stuff down and I forgot to fit it up. So my bad. And I'll pick it up later because I got to clean up after this anyway. I'm just hiding things from you. And then my rope. I got one of the TikTok jump ropes. And then, like, I can't jump because I'm not allowed to. Sorry, these pants are falling. All right, bone spur. Yay. I'm going to try that, supposedly that oil thing, the castor oil, works for bone spur. So I'm going to try that for a few weeks and see. I know other people are obsessed with losing weight, so they're trying it for weight and digestion and whatever. I wish y'all to get off of that shit. That's just white patriarchal stuff of like having you focused on your weight all the time instead of realizing that stress adds weight, drinking adds weight, improper eating and the food that they give us adds weight. We have no food regulation anymore, so poisons, overworking, not sleeping, all that stuff adds weight. But I'm gonna try it for the bone spur. I heard it works for the bone spur. Even still, oh, okay, this is a good start. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Look. Hold on, I gotta bring you down. But look what's at the split. Being released from the devil. Look at that. Being released from the devil. And then also, we got temperance in reverse. These are two major arcana that just showed up. Well, matter of fact, hold on. There are actually three because the card that fell out first is the wheel, which is a 10 card, which is a completion card, which means it's time for things to change. Remember, we did talk about that. You know, that the shift is my turn, right? We did talk about that. And I think that's the response we're getting is we know it's our turn. Like they know it's our turn. So again, things being out of alignment, out of balance, but we're also being released from this devil here. The other thing too, though, to this is about being out of balance and stuff. The way that I'm hearing it, the way that it, because I wasn't gonna say it, but like I keep hearing it, so I'm like, let me say it. It's like trying to always have a balanced response, trying to always have a decorum about it, a rule following. For instance, like our Congress still hasn't met. You know, this happened Saturday morning, and they're like, on Monday, honey, y'all don't work enough to have weekends off. Like, y'all don't work enough to have weekends off. No, you should have met Saturday, you know? As other European countries did, because obviously any threat to Iran was a threat to the world. because they don't know how Iran would respond, or Iran, whatever. And people who are intelligent, they know the itch was for WW3. They know the itch was for that. Again, entertainment purposes only. So it's like, what I'm getting with that temperance card is that it's time to stop following the rules, right? Rules for you, but not for me, that kind of thing. So it's like, it's time to stop following the rules, because the rules are keeping us out of balance. Because if you look at this, it's really interesting. I'm getting with his face, especially, which I never noticed before, but I'm getting with his face this determination of like, I said, you ever seen parents or somebody trying to stop two kids from fighting, or try to, like, have you ever seen, like, physically have to try to do something? That's what this feels like. This feels like, no, get in your place. And that is like, we have to be forceful with it, is what I'm getting that we need to stop going, could you please? It's like, no, separate, get in your place and do what you're supposed to be doing. And so that's what we need to do, is we need to forcefully come in and separate. um, oh, and the magician was right under that, in reverse, his manipulation, exactly. Oh man, let me just drop y'all down so y'all can see the card. All right, hold on, I gotta remove this. I'm literally holding you up with cards. They close the Strait of Hormuz. I told you it's gonna be a lot, and I still left the blanket there for y'all to see. Okay. Anyway, where are we? You don't see enough, so I'm gonna bring you down. I don't want to drop you again, because I did that to you last time. I don't want to close my eyes. I don't want to fall asleep because I miss you, baby. And I don't want to miss a thing. Okay. I want you to see more than what you're seeing. Not more of my room, more of the deck, the cards, the table. Hello? Okay. Now it's too bright. So let me kill this stuff. Hold on, you guys. I'm sorry. I don't have a setup yet, but I promise when we move, I will. There we go. I love having a light by my app. Now, that's a technology I can get with. Okay, so it's darker. You can't see her that well. It's the camera. All right, I gotta get a new webcam. I've had this one a very long time, like maybe like 8 years, 7, 8 years. I can't put you on pills. I'll put you on my blood pressure pill. Oh, actually, I can. It works. There we go. Hi on a Sunday. Oh my God. All right. So this is what we're working with so far. And this is like paint. Oh, that's a chrome, but that's paint. Okay. So this is a card we're actually reading. These are the energies that were underneath. Oh, look at all these majors. Jesus. Jesus, Jesus. And then the pentacles, which reminds me of temperance. All these majors, bro. That's interesting. What did I get on my shirt? I swear. You never know what you need to do until the camera gets on. It's on. Anyway, so like I said, this wheel, this is the card that jumped out for us to read. These are the energies underneath it. Okay. Got it. These are the energies underneath it. We have to turn the table. And this has been happening. This has started around that lunar, that not lunar, solar eclipse, fire, whatever. That time was a topsy-turvy time. Things switched. I literally felt it. Was it on a live? I think I was on a live or something, and I was like, "Whoa, I feel dizzy" or something. Um, but things literally did switch, um, and it really is. I'm not a hope dealer, so I just want to make this clear that it really is our turn. I know it doesn't look like it, doesn't feel like it, but it really is our turn, and this is the response to the change of energy. Because there is going to be freedom from the devil. There is going to be that. This is the energy behind it. This is why this is doing it for us. Is it's time to be released from that. It's time to turn over. Um, what? There's the other thing I'm being called to pay attention to is how much of it is about balance. It's stuck in your head too. About how much it is about balance. Is that the order of Earth has to be restored, and that's what we're working on. That's what we're actually here to do because this is our collective reading. So, light workers, light seers, this is what we're actually here to do: is to help restore the balance, um, and to not tip over into one or the other. Because you're in the full light, you're going to miss the suffering. And I mean our suffering. I mean misunderstanding or other people's suffering. So being able to walk the line is about humanity as well as spirituality. If you cross over into the white, you're gone. You're not here. You're not us. You're over on the other side. And so this walk of humanity is supposed to be between both. But there's a need for restoration. However, the way to get that is going to be to disregard um, to disregard the rules. Hmm. Okay. The other thing too that I'm seeing here is how they tried to keep us separated. Okay. All right. Yeah. So they tried to keep us separated. He keeps coming. He keeps coming back. Look at him, King of Cups. He keeps coming back. That is definitely JB in the EO. And somebody else now. Hold on. Somebody's coming to the front. Who is this? Mark? No. I guess I have to remember I say EOBO, right? EO and then Barack O. Um, I don't know. Hmm. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. The illegal guy, the guy in the upside down, the King of Swords, Russell Vote, um, Peter Thiel. Um, this isn't Peter Thiel. Netton. What's his card? I don't know what his card is. Maybe it's that one. I don't know who else would be right now. It's not coming to my head yet, but it's something to do with the government. Because if you notice, here's the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is our minor arcana military card, and then there's the government, the Hierophant, right after it. This is telling a story. So we have to hold the light and not be dissuaded or disheartened by their darkness, by their manipulations. We have to follow our spirit, follow the messages. Okay. This also is speaking to me about self-governing. Is like keep your energy, not energy, keep your I guess joy scrolling. Like keep feeding yourself joy. Keep finding reasons to laugh. Keep um creating light. Like you have to create it. Keep creating light. Keep sending out the energy. Monsters Inc. is what I always think of. Is change the source of energy from fear to laughter. Um and get out of your head. The Ace of Swords in reverse. That's that spiraling, like downward spirals. Get out of your head. Get out of your head. Yeah. So they have through the internet, through manipulations, they have kept us separate as well, and they want to hide the darkness. But the darkness can't be hidden. The light will find it anyway. But that said, we need to restore our balance. We need to restore the balance of the earth. We need to create more light. Um, and that doesn't mean being impervious to pain. It means not being penetrated by pain. Let me see something here. Why are you talking to me? Mm-mm-mm-mm. In reverse. Clinging to the past, fear of change, sentimental attachments, forces of destruction, mortality, end of hope. Yeah. Okay. That's what it is. That's the end of hope and feeling lost. So this keeps you out of alignment. Oh my God. So many stories. All right. Let's do our actual reading. Don't want to close my eyes. The Hermit, our inner light in this darkness. Find your source because he is trying to get us. All right. So, what is the message you have for the collective? What is the message you have for the collective, for the energy workers, for the light seers, the light workers in this time? What is the message that you have in this time? Is that mine? No. Okay. Would have been great, but no. What is the message that you have? I swear I heard another one. Okay. In this time, what is the message that you have? Any more? No? Any more? Yes? No? Any more? Any more? Okay. Just want to make sure I heard correctly. All right. She was in that deck. She was right under the Hierophant card. Ooh, crazy, crazy, crazy. They're all in the reverse. And the interesting thing is the two queens in the center and the two majors on the end. Yep, 40 minutes in. Thank you. 40 minutes in. Timestamp the collective reading. Perfect. Wow. Okay. Interesting. I just heard change your focus. Because I'm looking at this card, right? How did y'all end up all the way over here? Sorry. I'm looking at this card, the tower, and you see how this squirrel is like, I don't want to say looking at it. I don't want to say staring. The squirrel is, yep, we're live right now. The squirrel is, what word do we want to use? If I won't say helpless, but it's kind of like the squirrel is us. So it's like watching all this stuff happen where you feel out of control. Hmm. It's like, I won't say helpless. It just feels like it's out of your control, right? um, it's just so much, right? So it's just like so much. Like you see, there's a lightning strike, the disintegrating butterflies. This is your home that's being impacted. Even the nuts, the things that you would have for sustenance, has been attacked. Um, and butterflies representing hope and hope disintegrating. Mm, there we go. This is where I'm getting the goosebumps about hope disintegrating. But we didn't get it in this way. We got it this way. And this is where I hear change your perspective. Is it devastating? Absolutely. Is it burnt down? Pretty much. But change your perspective because now it's an opportunity for what? Okay. So I have a friend, right? I have a friend who got bitten by a spider at work. Turned out it was a black widow. She got bitten by a spider. She ended up having to go to the hospital. But it was while she was in the hospital that they discovered she had water on her heart. This is not a discovery she would have made on her own. Like she had to have some kind of operation, something with her heart. I can't remember if it was like a small heart attack or something. That's something she would not have discovered on her own had it not been for the spider bite. The spider bite itself was devastating. It made her leg hurt, it made her leg swell, etc. Right? Um, that in itself is devastating. But it's because of that that something else got revealed that would have been life ending. That's what's going on now. It feels devastating, but it is a catalyst for something more, something better. There will not be a complete descent into darkness, not as long as we have the light. These feel like cautions. The fact that there are two queens next to each other, one of knowledge and communication, and one of our values and our potential for growth, financially and otherwise. And they're both in the upside down. These two very strongly feel like cautionary tales to me about don't lose yourself. Whoa, this is crazy. Hold on. You said 45 cents difference? I gotta see what ours is because we vacillate too, but we're not as high as you guys. Um, wow. Don't sing that song. Don't get that song back in my head. Don't get that song back in my head. Okay. This is interesting. There's something else here that I need to know. Because again, this is our reading. A reading for the light seers, the light workers. This is our reading. You guys are seeing them in the upright. But like, there's peace here. There's peace here, and then there's wisdom here. And they're in the upside down. Peace and wisdom. Let me see what other words are working with the light seers because they have different words, a different interpretation. This is sharp, cold communication. Try to use your words wisely and refrain from being mean or emotional or indifferent. It's a message to use your head more and your heart less. Okay. So that's that reactionary, like don't be reactionary. Okay. 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 And they are very gorgeous cards. This here is financial stress. Yep, that's coming. Being self absorbed, smothering others, helicopter parenting, overindulging, work home imbalance, materialism in the reverse. The caution is to not overextend your energy and avoid enabling others by over mothering them. We're not here to fix this. Your nurturing and down to earth approach will give stability and support to those in your life. There we go. Oh, that was your cue that I'm like, there we go. We can't be the fixer. Um, okay. So we can't stop that from happening, but we can't let it make us feel helpless or powerless. We do have the power. The power is in our presence. That's this. The gift of who we are. That's this. Our natural gifts. And so lending our presence is going to help people with stability and feel supported. This doesn't mean giving of yourself until you are depleted. This is saying exist as you were created. And this time is not, I keep thinking about it because pentacles are slow, right? Pentacles are earth. Things on earth grow slow. We talked about the bamboo already, how the bamboo stays on the ground for about 3 years. It doesn't look like nothing's happening. And then all of a sudden, it is growing like a foot a day or a foot an hour or something like that. It just grows really, really fast. Um, so this would be slow, but given that it's in the reverse, the time is now. We don't have time to wait and figure it out. And um, think about it and it was just in my heart. And no, show up how you're meant to show up. For instance, I just thought of a client right now who's writing a romance novel or who wants to write a romance novel. And she's like, I've been thinking about it, think about it. And it's like, okay, well, thinking doesn't help anything. Just thinking about it doesn't help anything. So, how does that help in this time? It helps not with the escape, but it also helps people build and keep and have a dream. It also creates a vacuum or a bubble where there's a moment where they can leave behind the realities of things that scare them, right? Like if you read a romance novel while the sky is bombing, that means you're finding your moment of peace, which will strengthen you to go back out and do what you need to do. So this always happens is like even in the worst times, people still need those things that bring them joy, that bring them light. People go get their nails done. Well, not anymore because that shit costs too much money. Um, but like the gardening, showing up and just gardening. Like if you guys have live capability, for instance, on TikTok, you don't have to talk about the world and the government and what's happening now. If you're a gardener, you can literally plop that shit up on live, and then just be gardening and talking about the things that um, come in your head to talk about, or talk about nothing. I literally watched people harvest strawberries, and I was like, "Dang, that's fast." And I was fascinated by how they harvested the strawberries. Now, mind you, they were immigrants. And I think that was such a brilliant thing for them to do with their platform. They weren't talking to people on the camera, they were doing their work. Somebody just plopped up the camera. I don't know how they did that because my camera would have said, "Girl, it's too hot," and would have shut off. But they were doing it. They had it on the little push cart or whatever they were using to go through the fields, and you just watch them package strawberries as they pick them, and you're just like, wow, fascinated. I watched somebody in Korea go fishing. They just plop the shit up, and then you just watch them go fishing out in the thing. I watched somebody do rice patties, like they were just tending to the rice patties, and they weren't talking to us, but we were fascinated enough to watch. It's like to just watch and see an experience that we don't get to have. Um, just like we watch people play games, so those kinds of things. It's like finding a moment of joy or peace or just calm. And also it creates humanity. So like if you're out in your garden, just put the thing up. Do you have to necessarily talk? I mean, it'd be great. That helps create community. But and you can just pop a little mic on your lapel or whatever, wherever you put a mic, and then just go do your work and share whatever messages come on your heart while you're doing it. The point of it is not about virality and not about even monetization, but the point of it is to show up as the person you are called to be, to show up in alignment, to bring more light into the world, to Monster Inc. Like to flip it where it's not fear, it's laughter. It's not fear, it's laughter. It's not fear, it's joy. Like we have to create more light in the space of dark. Darkness is trying to crowd and take over literally. When you put out more light, you get to combat the darkness. Like if you look at this tower card, all this darkness, even the thing that destroyed this was light. Even the thing that destroyed it was light. And your wisdom. Some of you are not sharing your wisdom. You have so much inside of you. If it's not online, it should be in your community or amongst your family or volunteer at school or something. There are things for you to be doing that you need to be sharing your wisdom because I can guarantee you these young people are terrified. If we are, they definitely are. And they need to see people have who can be an example. Um, they see enough. I don't know how this thing keeps turning. They see enough of the bad examples everywhere, right? They're bad. Bad is loud. Bad is very loud. It's so loud to the point that people think it's omnipresent, that it's everywhere, and it's not. It's just loud. There are more good people than there are bad people. That's just the way it is. The thing is, bad is loud. Good has been trained into submission and quiet humility. When good should be louder. So the Queen of Swords, she's the Queen of wisdom, of knowledge, of truth. And while there was the other part of that message, and I'm going to repeat what that was, this is also about you not walking in, being, showing up as your own truth. A message to use your head more and your heart less. Uh huh. Strive to use your words wisely and refrain from being mean or emotional. So yeah, like again, the way to combat dark is with light, and truth is light. Truth is light. Truth destroys things that were never sustainable in the first place. That's why we have to watch it burn. That's the other thing. The other message that I got here was with us being between the tower and the reverse hangman. I got it has to burn. It has to. That's why we can't do like we can't solve things. Like women, we always try to solve things for the most part, and that's not our job here. Our job is not about solving the problem. Our job is about illuminating not just the problem but also the solution. So what I like here, this is why I'm coming to this book, because they have some great information here. Everything that I use, by the way, is in my description and inside of my Amazon store. So everything that I have, every book, every card, everything is in my Amazon store. Um, but anyway, it says here, not everything is a threat. The world is not inherently evil. I love that I just said this. The world is not inherently evil. Don't nurse old wounds and let past suffering smother your chance for a happy future. Learn to trust again. Don't assign blame. Assuming malicious intent creates a cycle of negative actions and feelings. When we expect to be hurt, we act defensively, alienating others more. This is why I'm saying show up in your knowledge, your purpose, show up, because it makes us remember we had earlier the hermit card. It makes us want to withdraw, to go within. And we really need to be blooming and blossoming and spreading our light, because the dark is loud. Um, so it says here, when we expect to be hurt, we act defensively, alienating others more. There is often a more benign explanations for others' behavior. Um, anyway, I like this. Even though this is um, to a work situation, says a bump from your colleague's chair doesn't have to be a declaration of war. So it's like even though we did what we did, it doesn't have to be war. And I think that would deflate them worse than anything. However, we're dealing with men, and what are men going to do? They're gonna men. So anyway, the other thing too says the queen's intelligence is being used as a weapon for bitterness. Um, I have seen some people sharing their hurts and or spreading their message in a negative way as if they are doing something positive, and you're not. You're just adding to the darkness. Um, so it's like even though her negativity is directed outward, it's likely because she feels empty within. I'm going to tell you, if you're spewing negativity, the fruit looks like the tree. Okay. So she may be excessively critical, never satisfied, draining, and toxic. Unwittingly, she causes the same suffering to others that she herself felt. Okay? So the reflection to this is yes, the world is full of cruelty, but Do beauty, kindness, and wonder coexist beside it? Blocking out life's paradoxes make us stagnant, sick, or weak. Do you believe that others only bring trouble and heartbreak? Without love, camaraderie, or friendships, hearts turn cold. So, what is the cost of being too guarded? And then with the pentacles here, see, I love that it makes you like think a little bit more in words. Doo-doo. So in Pentacles, it says here, reversed, this queen may be messy and unkempt. Gone is her beautiful sanctuary. She can be jealous and spiteful, unhappy to see others achieve. She takes great pride in her material possessions, even if they are in disrepair, as she depends on them to combat her inner feelings of worthlessness. That's the other thing. Queens are internal energy, by the way. So even if they are in disrepair, she depends on them to combat her negative feelings of worthlessness. She neglects both self and others. They are mirror images of her despair. Again, watch that. So have you learned to serve the needs of others without addressing your own? You may repress those needs and lash out in forms of tantrum or manipulation. What needs have you been hiding from your partner, your family, or your colleagues? How can you ask for them while respecting the boundaries and agencies of others? So these are the keys. Take care of yourself. It's not vanity. Our bodies mirror our inner world. When we see someone who is well groomed, they exude confidence. When you take care of your body, you develop confidence. Curate your environment. Take some time to clean. That's what I got to do. Take some time to clean and organize your physical surroundings. An organized environment creates clear thoughts. And then create a care routine. Work from the outside in. Clean your home once a week, clear out your wardrobe once a month, and dress up every day, or something like that. So this is also that self-care part, right? So again, showing up is the other thing too. Showing up for you, showing up for others. The other thing here is the hangman in reverse. And the hangman in reverse tends to mean feeling stuck, um, and feeling hopeless. I don't know runes, so I can't read on the runes. Um, yeah, that makes sense. Is showing up what we can be better and yeah, like we got to put our light together. Is a huge part of the word here. Yeah, see, stagnation, self sabotage, holding on to something that isn't meant for you, a tendency to be a martyr, which these are cautioning you against as well. So, um, so this feels like where a lot of us are, and we're being cautioned to do something different. Again, our very first card that came out was the wheel. And so it's time to rebalance. It's time to put things into alignment. We're out of alignment. We're out of alignment. And again, I asked about in this moment, and I understand that. Like we're looking at this war stuff. We're hearing about people being killed, military people, everything. Um, we're hearing about that. And so it might be some hopelessness here. But remember, there's dark energy at play. And again, Monsters Inc. Like I keep being shown and going to Monsters Inc. Monsters Inc. is that dark energy feeds on your fear. It feeds on your fear. It feeds on your despair. It feeds on your negative emotions. Starve it. Get out of stagnation. Move. Action. Do things that light you up. Do things that are going to help you spark energy that combats the fear. Because this has to go down anyway. It has to. Because it wasn't sustainable. This is like a rotting bark, right? So it has to go down. And what happens? You can resist, you can hold on, and in doing so, block your own blessings. You'll miss what is actually for you. Anything more to this message? Okay. Mm-hmm. This is all about stagnation. I'm feeling so much stagnation here. I'm feeling so much stagnation here. You're not following your spirit, your intuition. It's asking you to do so. Because if we had read this in the way that you actually see it, if this had come out in the upright, this would be an amazingly powerful and strong message. And the thing about this reading is this is possible. The way that you're seeing it is more than possible. In fact, it is what's needed. Um, Notice what is in the upright and what's in the reverse. Stop letting them have your mind. Stop letting their messaging burn down your world. This is crab in a bucket, this challenge, this thing of trying to hold you down and hold you back. We're in the reverse of this. And this right here is trusting the universe, trusting the spirit, trusting your inner guidance, releasing and letting yourself fall into the spirit, leaning back into the spirit. This is what's necessary to get this reading the way that you see it versus the way that I'm seeing it. Because I'm seeing it all in the reverse. Now, if you had seen it the way you see it, going from the tower to going from a transition into personal power, come on. This is a powerful reading. And this is yours. If you be the fool and trust trust what you're being told, trust your own guidance. Stop looking at their messaging because their messaging is fuel for their energy. That's the fear, all that negative stuff. That's what their energy, their messaging is designed for. Yours is light, 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 light. So let's just look at this. Every time I see why we're moving. Every time I slam it on the table, it jolts over because I literally have you on my blood pressure pills. um, let's see. Tell me what y'all think about that particular part of the message.